I'm in Albuquerque in the Barelas neighborhood with Sarah and Billy. Sarah, I talked to you about 6 months ago for the first time via Zoom.
Yes.
I was in Phoenix. You're here in New Mexico, and you built up the courage to share your story, right, of your journey through sobriety. But for the past 10 years, you had been lost, right,
Oh, yeah.
into drugs and whatnot. So thank you for joining me in person, meeting me and Billy. Billy, I talked to you recently, a month and a half ago, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You're in Phoenix, and you happen to be a barber, cut my hair, and I heard you and your story, and you shared your story. You have built up the courage to share with the Lost in Phoenix community, and here I am in Albuquerque visiting your guys' neighborhoods, right? This is where you guys are from.
Yeah.
And it's bad over here too. Driving around yesterday and today, it's bad. It's bad. It's like Phoenix Junior over here,
Yeah.
So but Sarah, how have you been? Since 6 months ago? That's a long time. We've been staying in contact, and you've been commenting. You're a subscriber, and you always comment on the videos, giving people positive words of encouragement. But how have you been since then?
I've been really good. I feel like this has been a good experience for me. I've got to talk to a lot of people, including like my own family of my husband's that didn't know that I was an addict, and it's really made it helpful for me in my sobriety to talk about my mental health, to talk about my addiction, to let people know and to get it off my chest. And that way, hopefully it's helping others have compassion for me as well. And it's definitely of course I already have compassion for the people that are using, but hopefully it's made others more compassionate, and it's been a very good experience. So thank you for that, Art, and thank you to the Lost community, because them reaching out and all that encouragement has really been very helpful.
How about you, Billy? What have you seen from you sharing your story? Have people reached out to you for words of encouragement for you, or even for advice?
Yeah, people have been reaching out to me for advice, whether that could be someone that's never even used drugs before, just somebody wanting to talk, or someone just trying to get ahead in life. Another one has reached out all the way from Florida. She has a man that's in jail, and she was just asking me for advice on what she should do. And basically, if somebody close to you is trying to get help, or if somebody close to you needs to get ahead in life, my advice to her was she should try to find success within herself, find greatness within herself, because you got to practice what you preach. And it's like the butterfly effect. What you do matters, and it rubs off on people. And basically, she could be an inspiration to her man that's in jail. And if he gets out and he's still on the same as before, then she's not pushing him away. He's pushing himself away. He has to match her energy.
Sarah, you're hesitant when I talk to you. You're going through anxiety. You weren't comfortable, right? You didn't have the courage, but you did, because you did share, but you were doubting yourself. Was that a good decision that you made to open up and share your story for everybody?
Yeah, so like when you told me at the end of the video, it takes a lot of courage for you to say this, and your family should be proud of you. I had to sit with that for a couple of days, because why should my family be proud of me? I'm a high school dropout. I worked at a bar for 10 years and did drugs the whole time. Like, why should my family be proud of me? But after the lost community reached out to me and gave me words of encouragement, and along with yours, I've also talked to Billy, and he gave me a lot of encouragement and different things about he talks to me about my health and stuff like that. That's really important for us to talk about. Nobody talks about your health, and how it's important for us to eat well, and so it's really helped me be more confident in talking about this, because a lot of people do struggle with mental health issues like myself, and I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have made that video, and I'm glad I made the decision. I think you had asked me the night before, and if I would have had time to sit on it, I probably wouldn't have done it, but I just said yes because that's what I felt inside that I should do, and it's just been a good experience thus far. I'm happy with talking to people, even people that don't agree with me. Even if we don't agree, I've found a way through communicating with people through your channel, a good way to communicate, a good way to say, hey, you know what, your thoughts are valid and so are mine, and we could agree to disagree, but hear me out, and this is my story, and you have your story, and your story is also important, even if you never used drugs and whatever you went through. So
I think it's important to have a conversation, right? Especially when you disagree. Let's have a civil conversation to discuss your thoughts, my thoughts, and where is their commonality? What do we have in common, as
Right.
opposed to different? And so we don't have to hate each other, but let's have a discussion about it, right? I think that's very important. And something you've mentioned recently in the comments is mental health.
Yes. Mental health, we all need to talk about it. We all have some mental health struggles, whether it's anxiety, depression, whatever you go through, we all have some kind of trauma, and if we don't talk about it, how can we help the problem? How could we know, hey, my friend's struggling too, my cousin, my sister, anybody, you know what I mean? We don't know unless we communicate and we talk, and I've learned to, because I don't want to be mean to anybody, and I don't want them to think I'm being mean, because sometimes they think that. They'll reply and they'll be like, oh, you know what I mean, you're arguing with me. I don't want to argue. I just want to hear your side and you hear my side, and let's talk about it, and let's understand each other. We're all kind of the same in some ways, and it's best if we all understand each other.
Billy, what does it feel like being here in Albuquerque, where it was rough for you here, right? You were out here with your father and the loquera, right? You call it the loquera, the craziness, right?
Yeah.
What does it feel like being back sober and seeing family, and just thinking your mindset is way different than it was when in the loquera, right? You're more mature, you've evolved.
Yeah, well, basically, it's like, the best way I could describe it is I'll look at a tree and I'm like, damn, the trees are green. Damn, I hear the sound of the birds and I'm like, damn, the birds sound good right now. And because for so long my life was just black and gray, and when you put some paint where it ain't, you get to appreciate color a little bit better. How's it feel to be back? I mean, Albuquerque's really no different from Phoenix. When I'm in Phoenix, I miss Albuquerque. When I'm in Albuquerque, I miss Phoenix. I was cursed on these streets. I was cursed on the streets in Phoenix. I was blessed on the streets of Albuquerque. I was blessed in the streets of Phoenix. My mom had me at a young age out here. In Phoenix, she struggled, with paying the bills. We're moving from apartment to apartment throughout West Phoenix. Never really stayed in one spot. I never really went to the same school longer than 2 years. In Phoenix too, just basically there's a little piece of me in both places. I found blessings, and then I was cursed out here. Then I found blessings again. But what really changed is when I changed my mindset.
For the people that I interview, whether it's Albuquerque or in Phoenix, they're lost. You guys understand their plight. You understand what they're going through, what they're thinking, right?
I see myself in a lot of those people. Even though I was never homeless, I see myself in them. You know what I mean? I just do.
But I think that a lot of them watch these videos actually, you know, and so it's important for me to talk to you type of folks, as far as recovered folks, you know, that live that lifestyle, and now you're recovered, and you see both sides now, right? The sober life and the loquera life. And so I think it's important for people like you to talk to them directly, indirectly. And I wish you guys had your own YouTube channel. I wish you guys wrote books. I wish you guys, you know, could do. And this is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're using this platform to reach out. And
who knows? We might write a book.
Definitely.
You never know. We might start our own YouTube channels. I mean, you never know. The sky's the limit right now. Like, I feel like we could do anything, especially together. We're stronger together. You know what I mean? Like, what a small world that you're from Albuquerque. I'm from Albuquerque, and you know, and
if you're dreaming, if you dream by yourself, you ain't dreaming big enough.
No, we need each other. We need the community. And you know what? Like you saying, like something that I've been wanting to mention that just went into my head when you said like everything was black and white. Something that people don't tell people when you're on these drugs is like nothing is good. Food doesn't taste good. Sex isn't good. Like you don't feel anymore. Like there's no feeling in your body. Like you don't feel those pleasurable things that should be pleasurable, that should be good. It's not there anymore. And
you're just numb from reality.
It's not even a high. It's not even good. You're just
you become
numb from
so
everything.
numb to reality, to sleeping in your car and being out in the hot streets or the cold streets. You know, it's really nothing to you. I mean, I look back and I tell my story to some people and they're like, damn, how'd you go through all that? And honestly, I didn't really, at the time, I didn't know when I was going through it, like, damn, this isn't normal. I knew it wasn't normal, but I was numb to it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like, Albuquerque is really no different from Phoenix. I mean, I slept in my car in Albuquerque and in the coldest times of the year. Just down the street from here, my auntie was renovating a house and she let me stay there for a night when I went on my little heroin trip. This was right before I went back to Phoenix, and I went back to Phoenix, slept in my car in Phoenix. I mean, panhandled in front of gas stations. Just being in front of grocery stores, using the Wi-Fi so I could, you know, hit up someone or somebody who needed a haircut. Hey, come pick me up over here. Just, you know, it's really no different from here and over there. What matters is the change you make within yourself. It doesn't matter your geographical circumstances. You could go to the damn Iceland or Greenland and you'll probably find an Eskimo out there that got some pills.
So,
yeah, you just have to make that decision, just that you're not going to do this no more, that you want to change your life, that you want better for yourself.
So can you say to the folks that are currently lost, is there hope in sobriety? Is there hope in recovery? Is it feel good to live this, be on this side?
Oh yeah.
There's definitely hope. I mean, because when you're using and you become spiritually, financially, emotionally bankrupt and physically bankrupt, and little by little you just build. And before you know it, a year goes by and you got some money in your pocket, you got a house, and you look back and you're like, damn. But you got to give praise to God too, or give praise to somebody that's a higher power than yourself.
Definitely. And
that's how you practice gratitude.
Exactly. And just I feel like people that have gone through what Billy and I have been through, we appreciate everything so much more. I appreciate like waking up to my kid. I appreciate not having to drive to my drug dealer's house every single morning. I used to cry sometimes because I would try not to go because I wanted to spend time with my son, and I had no choice. It was like a prison. Like I was prisoner to that drug, and every day that I'm not prisoner to that drug is a great day, beautiful day.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, man, you wake up and you see the trees and like, damn, the trees are green. You appreciate like the littlest stuff, and you learn to, every little moment's of joy never goes by unnoticed. And technically, in a way, my little loquera, the times on the loquera, it was a blessing in disguise, because before the loquera, I thought I had all the power in the world, and little moments like that would go by unnoticed.
See, and when you said that in your interview, I felt the same way, because when I was younger, I was a very confident kid. I was very confident. I felt like I could do anything. I could become an actress. I could be a model. And when you start using drugs and all of that, you don't believe that in yourself anymore. You don't believe in yourself, and that's the worst thing you could do to yourself, is not believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you? You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that.
And in a way, you still can achieve those things. It's just when you're on the drugs, it got put to a halt.
Well, now my dreams are a little bit different, because now you know what I mean? I probably could be a model or something, you know, maybe, but I want to help people. Like, that's my dream now. I want to help people struggling with this addiction. I want to help. Like, I want to do what I can to help. But, you know, even though my dreams are different, I'm more motivated to do that dream than I would ever be motivated to, you know, be an actress or a model or anything that I had planned previously. And it's all thanks to art and the Lost in Phoenix community.
One thing about me too, like you said, like I had a lot of dreams, and I had some big dreams, and I would always like ask myself before the loquera, I'm like, damn, how am I gonna get there? How am I gonna get there? I knew it, like I wanted to be a boxer when I was younger. I wanted to be successful and have real estate properties when I was younger. But back in the day, you know, it seemed so far ahead. But I feel like now that I went through my little trip, I think that kind of stuff is easy now. I'm like, man, I went through this too. That's easy. Put me in a ring with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, if you're watching this interview, let's
go. No,
it ain't nothing.
Yep, we've been through the hardest.
I think when you're dreaming about being a boxing champion, or you're dreaming about being an actress, I mean, a lot of people dream about that. Those are good dreams. Those are good dreams, but those are that's lifting up one person.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When you're doing this, you're lifting up an entire community. Right? You're lifting up people. You're saving souls. You're being compassionate. Right? That's something I've learned in the past 11 months when I started doing this, is compassion. You know, caring about my fellow man, the people that are out here that I'm talking to, like being more understanding. Even though I have no idea what you guys have been through personally, I've never lived it, but my heart breaks for you guys, hearing those stories of how you guys have been lost, and my heart breaks. Every little piece of my heart breaks every time I interview these folks, you know. Mm-hmm. But I know it's important to talk to them, give them hope, right? Yeah. So that they'll be the Sarahs and the Billies soon, right? And then these videos are important because how many people are we preventing from even trying it to begin with, right? Which
that's like a really big thing that I want to say too, is like, I've always been a live and learn type of person. Like, you could tell me whatever when I was a kid and I would probably do the opposite, you know what I mean? Because I was like, whatever. You gotta live. I just always believe that.
Find out the hard way.
Yeah. But with this drug, don't even try it. Don't, you can't, like, I wouldn't want somebody to learn about this. I wouldn't want somebody to feel that feeling. I wouldn't want somebody to go through what I went through, crying, not wanting to drive to your drug dealer's house, but having no choice, and he's driving up in a brand new vehicle. And you know, something I want to say too is the person that gave me my first pill, he died that same year of an overdose, and our drug dealer said it to me just like it was on any other day, and he did not care, and he still sold me my pills, and they don't care. There's always somebody else that's gonna buy the pill. That you're not anybody to them. You're just a dollar in the bucket. You know what I mean? You're just making them richer. So I want to tell people that as well.
I mean, even people that do sell drugs, I mean, the person that you're in business with, I mean, they end up ratting on you anyways. You know, streets is filled with a bunch of snitches. So,
Sarah, there's a statement you wanted to make to the Lost in Phoenix community, everybody out there watching.
Okay, so I did a little bit of research. I don't know why news platforms aren't talking about this more, about fentanyl. I had to look up some stuff online, but there's something that really resonated with me, and that I found that I want to read. So it says, according to the 2019 Youth Risk and Behavior Survey, New Mexico high school students were more likely to use opioids than the average teen in the U.S. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report on the survey also found young people in the LGBTQ community had a higher prevalence of opioid use. And the reason why that's important to me is because I have a transgender daughter, and she's 10 years old. My daughter's 10 years old. And if people are using these pills at 12 years old, that's really close for me, and I would not want that to happen. We need to be accepting. Yes, thank you. We need to be
more
accepting.
Chance that she.
Yes, that she'll use.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be more accepting to people that are different, more accepting to people that have mental issues. We need to be more compassionate towards people. We don't know what anybody has been through. We don't know other people's stories. And I think it's very important that we're aware that our kids in New Mexico are affected by this more than anybody else, and especially our LGBTQ community. I want the community to know that I support them, and that's also another thing. I'm proud that I have a transgender daughter, and I wouldn't want it any other way, and everybody else should be proud of their kids or anybody else that is different and that had the courage to come out and say that they're different, because that's hard as well. Just as hard as it was for me to say I was a junkie, it's hard for the people out there that are struggling with their identity to say that as well. So that really meant a lot for me to say that. So
thank you for sharing that, Sarah. That's definitely valid, and so those are subjects that people don't know, right?
Or people don't talk about.
They don't
feel comfortable talking about it.
Exactly. So it's all about conversation. Everything's a conversation. Let's talk about it, right? Make a person like me more familiar, because I don't know. I just don't know. But if we're talking and you're telling me those are statistics and it's in your family and you're personally going through it, I can learn from that, right? I could be more educated, more aware.
Right.
So that's important, right?
Yes.
So it's courage for you to open up and share what's going on in your household with your baby, and be there, as a mom, and be supportive and help your daughter go through that change that has to be hard on her.
I can imagine.
Yeah, on her, on you, the family. So again, courage, and would you have shared this 6 months ago, a year ago? Definitely, probably, maybe not. But again, you're understanding that it's important for us to talk, right? And how valuable and important it is to have these type of conversations, because people are going to hear this and be like, oh, maybe I should, maybe this is my opportunity to talk, because I'm going through something, whatever it is. We're all going through something, just sometimes we don't have the courage, right?
Yes, and just what I have to say too is just be yourself. Don't try to be cool. Don't try to fit in. If you're gay, bisexual, transgender, be yourself. Just and people that will support you, those are the people to be around. The people that don't, well, then you just don't need those people in your life. So that's what I have to say too from experience. Just always be yourself.
Sarah, Billy, I'm gonna thank you very much for agreeing to meet. It was my pleasure. I had a blast talking to you guys and meeting you, and you guys I see you every week, because I get a haircut from you every week. Every week I get a haircut from Billy.
I apologize. You got to deal with my nonsense sometimes. I'm still ahead with or without drugs.
Yeah, you're a good guy, Billy. Sarah, you are awesome. And this is what we're building. We're building each other up, right? So that we can go help out others, right?
Yes.
More success stories, more Sarah's, more Billy's, what we need, whether it's Albuquerque, Phoenix, everywhere, right? So thank you very much. Let's continue to rock, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.